Yeah. Speaking of reality shows, you all know who Snooki is, right?
No.
Who's that?
Snooki from Jersey Shore.
Give me some choices.
Oh, come on, you know.
I don't know who Snooki is.
Can they? Is it possible they don't know? Snooki is the star of the Jersey Shore reality show on MTV. It's the #1.
Is that a girl or a guy?
Reality show. It's a girl.
Okay.
And what a girl she is. Rutgers University is trying to explain how they paid $32,000 to have Snooki make an appearance at the Livingston Student Center for Q&A sessions with students at Rutgers. Listen to this. The $32,000 is $2,000 more than they paid for Nobel Prize-winning author Toni Morrison. Who negotiated that deal?
Was Colin Powell with her?
Who cares?
I mean, I don't know, or maybe it's worth the deal, man. I don't know why you're confronting me with this. I don't even know this.
I can't believe.
Guy.
I can't believe. Oh,
I figured he was a rapper.
Now I don't know where to go with this. All right, this you might have an opinion on. We talked about it on the show. The callers were very divided on it. On the Food Network, there's a show called The Barefoot Contessa. Ina Garten is the host of the show. She cooks on television. She gets her people are contacted by the family of a dying 6-year-old boy. He's got leukemia. His last wish is to meet her and cook with her. And according to his family, her people repeatedly turned them down, saying she did not have time to do this. Huge controversy, bad publicity, nightmare for the Food Network. A day later, change of heart, gonna do it. We'll be there. I made the point, just to be a troublemaker,
That she's a fraud.
You know, if I was her, I would have done it. If you were her, you would have done it. How do you say no? But at the end of the day, people do have the right to say yes and no to these things. Your time is yours. No one has the right, just because you're famous or whatever, to demand that you show up.
And people have a right to call you a scumbag.
Right.
I mean, that's
how did this story get out?
Well, that's the thing, Steve. You're right on the money. The story got out because the family of the boy put it on the internet and on Facebook. And, you know, if I were them and my boy here is dying, I don't think I'd have time to wage a hate campaign against Ina Garten. I mean, so she said no. Plenty of other people will say yes, right?
Right.
Yeah, but you know, Jack, I see. Maybe if we get down deep into a problem like this, you've got to think of it this way: if you're a private individual and you make the decision not to associate with a kid who's dying, that's your prerogative, and it may be your prerogative in a profession in which you're promoting yourself. But I think you've got to sit down with some advisors at some point and start talking about, look, I've got a program I'm promoting. I've got advertisers. Right. You've got to think it through. And that's a different situation. If you're a politician,
it's a bad decision.
As Nico knows, you may have to kiss a slobbering baby that you wouldn't kiss as a private individual.
It's a bad decision. It's strategically wrong. It makes you more trouble than it's worth. Whatever time you saved not going to the boy's bedside, you've now wasted defending yourself. I'm just saying the principle of it is, it's almost like now we think that celebrities have an obligation to do everything they are asked to do in the name of a good cause. What if you were Justin Bieber? I mean, there'd be no way you could appear at every child's bedside that wanted to see you or that was their dying request. You'd have to say no to a lot of them. So, I mean, what do we make of people when they say no? Does that make them bad?
But Justin Bieber has the staff that can at least send something to them, maybe a letter, maybe a picture signed. There's things you can do.
But if you can't make every appearance that you're asked to make, but you do make appearances, and she has done stuff for Make-A-Wish, is she a bad person because she didn't do this one, or is she a good person because she did the other things that she did?
Well, you're right about that. That could have been stuck in a volume of requests.
Right.
And the
well, did she come out and say, I didn't know about it?
What if I go to 99 of these kids, but I don't go to the 100th? Am I a bad person for the 100th?
She needs a better set of her people.
Her people.
Sounds like her people didn't quite handle this thing right.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's tough. You make good points. But
I mean, I've never been in her position where I'm that famous, but I'd like to think that I would be able to. I certainly would try to make all of these and grant all of these. I'd like to think that for the ones I didn't make, people would say yes, but on the other hand, look at what he did do.
Well, I think what Jimmy said, you get an advisor to say, look, we can't. If this is a regular occurrence, I don't know how many times this has happened for her. Maybe have one special show where you have a number of people that are making that request, so you kind of not isolate it, but be more efficient with it.
Yeah,
and then extend back to that family. Say, look, we do have a show. Like it happens every 3 months. We'll put you on the next show for that. And so you kind of, it just takes a little bit of strategy.
Yeah, it does. And I know from Taylor's perspective, if the doctor gave me the news that I didn't have long to live, I know that Taylor would bump me up a week.
Yes.
While Gang afforded to make sure that I was alive while I was sitting here.
So get extra footage of him, too.
We're going to talk about the chest.
And please get extra footage of Steven Stoli so that later we'll be able to show these images.
I'm in front of the Grauman's Chinese Theater in my RV because we're premiering the new Robert Duvall movie that he's interested in.
When we put the APB out, we want the picture. Try to get a profile shot, too.
All right. So give him the Shakespeare shot.
Yeah, there. Oh, look at that. Very dramatic pose.
John Barrymore.
Just whipped off the glass.
I can see Taylor now. If I say, hey, listen, I've only got 2 weeks to live. I can't make that show. And he'll say, well, 2 weeks puts you through till Saturday. This is Friday morning.
That's right.
I'm not bumping you up.
Yeah, that's right. All right, gentlemen, we've said a lot. We've solved nothing, as always. But thank you for coming in. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack.
Happy April Fool's Day.
This was a Fool's Day.
Happy fake birthday to Steven Stoli. All right, more when we come back, including our Taylor Trash. It's 11:45 on KTSA.